You betrayed your nation? Lieutenant, get down. As the prosecution tossed a bulky folder of classified evidence onto the bench, his voice cut through the quiet courtroom. The young woman in the middle, wearing an orange prison uniform with dog tags dangling around her neck like a misplaced medal, had all eyes on her while she was handcuffed in front of them. She didn't blink or flinch. Her face was unreadable but stone-haunted. The first female SEAL sniper in history, who was now facing espionage charges, was encircled by the organization she had put her life in to protect. Furthermore, nobody in the tribunal seems to recall the 6 bullets she suffered while hauling her injured commander out of an ambush or the 22 lives she had rescued in Kandahar. They only saw a headline, "SEAL Sniper Betrays Navy." The judge tried to hide her discomfort by adjusting her glasses, but it was obvious that everyone was balancing justice and spectacle. She said, "Lieutenant Hayes," in a strained voice. "You." Charged with disclosing encrypted mission files that caused 6 operatives to be killed. "How do you make a plea?" Hayes cautiously raised his head and met the judge's gaze. The weight of someone who had fought 1,000 battles, some with guns, others with betrayal, was evident in her quiet voice. "Not at fault," a row behind her erupted in laughter. "Typically, people break barriers just to break trust," mutters one of the Pentagon suits. She heard it all the time. They subtly reminded her that she didn't belong. The courtroom's enormous oak doors suddenly flew open, and there was a loud echo. Everybody turned. Admiral Keating, the highest senior commander in the Naval Special Warfare Command, led a group of decorated officers into the room. The air stopped when he was there, and his eyes widened. "This is a closed proceeding," the judge said, balancing convention with panic. He ignored her as he marched forward, saying in a calm but piercing voice, "That's exactly why I'm here." As he took a hard drive out of his coat and faced the courtroom, whispers shook the room like a shockwave. "This includes the digital trace of the purported transmission as well as all of the communication logs. It demonstrates that after Lieutenant Hayes was already in jail, the file was emailed from a phony account." Confusion and gasps, the prosecutor became rigid. In an attempt to comprehend what she was hearing, the judge blinked twice. Keating's tone became icier. "Additionally, internal redactions are visible in the logs. Someone with a high level of clearance tampered with someone is present." For the first time, Hayes, still shackled, looked up with genuine feeling. Hope mixed with skepticism, the prosecutor attempted to protest, but the Admiral denied him the opportunity. "Major Caldwell is being investigated for obstructing and manipulating evidence." The courtroom whirled. The prosecutor fled and was seized by 2 MPs before going mute as the realization struck. The judge grew pale as he was marched past her, avoiding her gaze. Hayes remained motionless and didn't gloat, but for the first time in months, the chains didn't feel as heavy. "This court needs to apologize to you, Lieutenant Hayes. The system that had brought her up, trained her, and almost ruined her was now frantically trying to erase what it had nearly buried." Hayes remained silent, and her quiet said louder than words could. Not only was she free, but she was also validated. Reporters crowded like flies on a battlefield outside the courthouse. Microphones pressed up against her face, expecting responses. An outrage. After months of stress that hadn't left her bones, she stood there rigid, her hands free but still trembling a little. "You don't owe them anything, but if you want your truth told, now's the time," said Admiral Keating, who was standing next to her and leaning gently in. "When someone framed me, everyone turned away as if it didn't matter, but the truth always finds a way out. I served our nation for 12 years, and during that time I've watched friends die and taken bullets to save others." She stared at the sea of flashing cameras, then took a deep breath and began. Even if it had to dig through the dirt to breathe, she stopped. The audience exploded in cheers despite the lack of dramatic music and flag waving in the background. When the world pleaded with her to stay down, she got back up, not because she was a hero. She did not smile or cry. She just turned and left. Her head held high, her stillness more audible than a shout. They were unaware of how nearly she had signed a fake confession in order to allow them to win, but during her lowest point, She recalled her father's words, "They can imprison your body but don't